Please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Graduates, we are so proud of you. I've been asked to pray a prayer of blessing. So community members, family members, I invite you to join me in blessing these tremendous people. I'm going to pray with my eyes open because I pray a lot when I'm driving to recruiting visits. I'm the recruiter on campus, and it just wouldn't be all right for me to close my eyes when I'm driving. So Dad, thank you for these amazing people. Thank you for the gifts that you have placed within each of them. Thank you that they are unique and individual. Thank you that that's seen in their fingerprints, that's seen in their eyes, that's seen in their passions and their desires, that's seen in what they have done, and we anticipate it as we look to the future. So I ask that you would bless each person in this gym, but especially bless our graduates. Give them strength, give them confidence. Surround them with people who believe in them. When they fall down, help them have the courage to stand back up and keep running towards their dreams. I ask that you would allow them to walk out the days that they have in a way that matters. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated.
Bonjour, Kakanawia Stephanie Nin Nandishnakas, Makwa Nin Nandudem, Nagachuanang, Ishko Nagane Gandunjaba. Niwi Dukaz, Jagana Wendamong, Gabe Gikandaso Wigamig. Minawa, Jagana Wainamagwa, Gakina Wia Oma. Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie, my clan is the Bear. I am from the Fond du Lac Reservation. I help take care of this college and help take care of all here. So welcome everybody. So just want to address the special guests here, Fond du Lac Tribal Council, Fond du Lac Tribal College Board of Directors, of course faculty, staff, students especially, and their families and friends. Welcome to graduation finally. Students, you made it. Let's cheer. Did you ever think this day would come? Much hard work, maybe some tears, plus a great deal of support from your family and friends helped get you to this point. This is always one of my favorite events of the year when we all get to celebrate your accomplishments. The education you gained here and the degree you earned will always be with you, and no one can take that away. I'd like a little indulgence. Can faculty, staff, please stand up? Yeah. Just wanted to say, I know personally I've relied on all of you for your support and guidance this year, and I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you've been there for many of our students. So thank you very much. Graduates, be proud, be happy, and enjoy this moment of celebration. I hope you take a piece of Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College with you in your heart when you leave, as we will hold you in ours. You will always be welcome here. Many congratulations to each of you, and we wish you well in whatever your future takes you. Thank you. We have a few guests up on the stage here that would like to offer some welcoming words. First, we have Vern Zacher. Vern is retired from the Cloquet School District, where he spent his time there as the Director of Indian Education. He continues to support Indian Ed and has served many years on the Fond du Lac Tribal College Board of Directors, with many as chair of the board. Vern, would you like to step up?
On behalf of the Fond du Lac Tribal College Board of Directors, I'd like to congratulate all you on your achievements, that you've worked so hard to come here and graduate tonight. and give best wishes to your family for your achievement and helping you with your achievements. And I hope you all move forward in a positive way. I got my degree in the early 70s, and things were a lot simpler back then. I think we had typewriters, we didn't have computers, and it was $1 a page if you hired someone to, to type your reports for you. So I guess I'm a little bit of a dinosaur, but realistically, some of your challenges, I think, we're in a much more complicated world now, and I think that your challenges will be much more than what I had to face in my career. But I want to wish you all, give you all best wishes as you move forward. Thank you.
Next, it is my distinct honor to introduce a member of the Minnesota State Board of Trustees, Mr. George Soule. Trustee Soule was appointed to the board by Governor Mark Dayton in 2018. He is a member of the White Earth Nation and serves as a judge for the Fond du Lac Tribal Court of Appeals. He is also board chair for the Division of Indian Work in South Minneapolis. He graduated from Minnesota State University Moorhead and received his Juris Doctorate from the Harvard Law School. Welcome, Trustee Soule.
Bonjour, my relatives, graduates of the class of 2019. Greetings, President Hammett, President Emeritus Anderson, administration, faculty, and staff of this great college. Today I bring greetings from the Minnesota State Board of Trustees, Chancellor Devinder Malhotra, and the talented faculty and staff across our state. It's a great honor for me to participate in tonight's commencement ceremony. As you know, this college is a unique tribal and state partnership not found anywhere else in the United States. And I feel very much at home here. As a trustee, I get to visit and go to commencements all over the state, and I can tell you, this is the best one. Commencement is a tangible reminder of the things that make us passionate about our state colleges. We come together today to celebrate your achievements, but also to renew our commitment to Minnesota's public colleges and universities, because we believe in the power of public education to change lives. We believe that our state colleges are places of hope and opportunity where all Minnesotans can get the education they need to create a better future for themselves, their families, and their communities. And we believe that we must continue our commitment to the outstanding, accessible, and affordable education that our colleges and universities provide. So congratulations on your achievements. I am proud of you. Each of you took your own unique path to get here today. I expect it wasn't easy for some of you. Some had to overcome barriers to enter college and to stay in college. Some are the first in your families to graduate from college. Many of you balanced school with a job and family. Some of you studied after work when everyone else was asleep. But today your hard work and those late nights have paid off. Congratulations. So I join with you in thanking those who helped you along the way, seated all the way around this auditorium. Some of them may not have been able to come tonight, but thank you to parents, family, professors, mentors, and role models. Without you, while you, the graduates, deserve most of the credit, none of us could have accomplished this without support. I hope you will stay connected with your college as alumni, become a mentor, and support the students. Down the road, give back to Fond du Lac so future students have the same opportunities for success that you and I had. Finally, I hope you will do great things with your lives. You carry the mission of this great college with you no matter where you go, whether it's down the street, to another state, or across an ocean. Take advantage of your opportunities. Rise to the top of your fields of work. Make great families. Give back to your community with your support and time and leadership. Whatever your choices, do great things, make a mark, and create a legacy. So graduates of the class of 2019, on behalf of all of us at Minnesota State, I extend heartfelt congratulations on becoming alumni of Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Yesterday, about 2 o'clock, we received an email that our keynote speaker may not be here tonight. So I'm so happy he's sitting right here. They have been busy down at the legislature working out a budget, which I hope will be good for us. And it's my pleasure to introduce Dennis Olson, Jr. He was appointed by Governor Walz as the Commissioner of the Office of Higher Education earlier this year. In the past, he has served as the Executive Director of the Minnesota Indian Affairs Council, as Minnesota's Director of the Office of Indian Education, and as the Commissioner of Education for the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. He is an enrolled member of the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, with a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Minnesota and master's degrees focusing on federal Indian policy and American Indian education from the University of Minnesota, Duluth. Dennis brings a wealth of experience, education, and passion for Indian education, and we're happy he is here to be our keynote speaker.
Bonjour, Gekano Magan. Bonjour, Anishinaabe Dug. Bidabin Indigenous Cause. Nagajiwanong and Dunjaba. Makundo Dame. Good evening, Anishinaabe people. Good evening, graduates and students. Like President Hammett said, my name is Dennis Olson. My spirit name is Bidabin. It means sunrise. I'm a proud citizen of the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. Something to clap for. Graduates, I'm really proud to be here tonight. I'm honored to celebrate and recognize all of you. Students and families as well. This is absolutely the best part of my job, my new job. I've only been on the job for about 5 months. I was appointed to serve as the Commissioner of the Minnesota Office of Higher Education by Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan in January. On the day my appointment was announced, I found out shortly thereafter that there was going to be a press conference. And when I walked into that press conference, I saw a ton of TV cameras and a ton of reporters, and something I'd really never faced before. And I quickly had to come up with some remarks, some acknowledgments, almost like an acceptance speech of my appointment, and to commit to service for the people of Minnesota. I struggled a bit with what my remarks would be about, but you know, the only thing that my mind and my heart really told me to do was to acknowledge those that came before me, to acknowledge those trailblazers, those who helped pave the way for me to have the opportunity to serve my people and all the people of the state of Minnesota. You know, during that press conference, one of the most important people that came to my mind, and some of you have probably heard me speak about this before, about this person before, but I had to acknowledge my mother. Yeah. Now, many of you know both my parents and know my mom well here in the community. But her story, her educational journey, and her spirit of service leadership and servant leadership is one we can all learn from, and especially graduates, I think one we can all learn from. When I was early on in my career, I asked my mom, when I started to get involved in Indian education, I said, Mom, when you started school here in Cloquet, as a Fond du Lac band member, how many Native students did you start school with? Did you start kindergarten with? And she kind of thought a minute, and she said, I suppose there were, a couple hundred of us here from the community. And that piqued my interest. That sounded like a lot of students. And I said, how many did you end up graduating with? And she graduated from Cloquet High School in 1965. And she said, I think about 6 or so. And I went, wow, from 200 to 6. And, that was certainly sobering to me. And it may seem surprising to you, but that's, not really far off from the statistics that were around during that time. And there's still some of the same statistics today, some of the outcomes for our Native students. My mother started to work at the University of Minnesota in the 1970s. And I mentioned she graduated with her high school diploma in 1965 and got her AA degree in 1975, 10 years later. In 1985, so fast forward another 10 years, she was awarded her Bachelor of Arts degree, all while working a full-time job, being a full-time mother, being a student, raising a family. Matter of fact, I remember at a young age her reading me bedtime stories, and we'd be laying in my bed and she'd be flipping through the pages, and I'd stop her and I'd say, you skipped a couple pages. And she was busted, so she'd go back and she'd read those pages to me. And little did I know at the time, she was balancing being a full-time mom, a full-time employee, and a student. And I didn't know that she was faced with a pile of homework or a pile of reading that was waiting for her on the kitchen table after I went to bed, long after I went to bed. And I think about that journey to her bachelor's degree, and fast forward another 10 years, 1995, she received her master's of education degree. And it was at that point I was becoming a young man, and I realized what an incredible educational journey she had been on, but it didn't stop there, and I knew it wouldn't stop there. In 2005, she was awarded a Doctorate of Education degree, an EDD, from the University of Minnesota Duluth. A 40-plus year journey in education, and truly the epitome of lifelong learning. And she had heard from counselors in high school, there's no reason as a young Native woman to pursue higher education. You should look at something else that may be more appropriate for you. And, sometimes advice is only advice. Sometimes it's good advice, sometimes it's not very good advice, but your personal desire is what really should drive you. In 2005, I also earned my master's degree, President Hammett mentioned, and I had the opportunity to walk across the stage with my mother when she got her doctorate degree. And it's a moment, it's an experience that I'll cherish forever. Aside from the education, she worked her entire professional career at the University of Minnesota Duluth, all in higher education, because she truly believed that education was the key that could open any door in life. She spent well over 3 decades providing tireless advocacy for and on behalf of American Indian students, and really all students at the university. She wanted them to make sure that they enrolled in school, that they felt supported, that they stayed there, and ultimately they completed their degrees. She was one of the main reasons that I chose to go to graduate school at UMD. I felt comfortable on campus, and maybe that's because she took me to work often with her when I was a young man, and it was sometimes fun to be on campus, and many times she put me to work. I remember sitting on the floor and she would hand me one of those long collating strips. I don't know if anyone remembers what those look like, the alphabetized strips or the collating strips. And I was putting student transcripts in there, or I'm not even sure what I was doing, but I became quite a good alphabetizer, I guess. So, but feeling comfortable on campus, feeling seen, feeling heard, and feeling valued on campus is critically important to student success. I want to quickly rewind a minute. When I was an undergraduate student at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, I knew I was coming from Cloquet, coming from Duluth, to a really big university down in the Twin Cities, and I quickly felt lost. And so I knew right away that I had to seek out those student experiences, those support centers, those support networks on campus that would make me feel comfortable there in a community. And so I sought out the American Indian Learning Resource Center, and I sought out the American Indian Cultural Student Center, and I started taking some American Indian Studies classes there, and I ran into a young woman in Dennis Jones's American Indian History, Language, and Culture class. And we actually both became teaching assistants of that class. And that student at the time was Peggy Flanagan. And some of you may know the name in the room, Peggy Flanagan, who is now, as a White Earth Band member, the Lieutenant Governor of our great state of Minnesota here, and the one who appointed me to this position. And you know, little did we know at the time as students at the University of Minnesota that we would go on to be, really some of the first American Indians in state leadership and in state history. But she and I talked together a lot. And, you know, when we talk together, we recognize often that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And we walk the paths and the roads that our relatives have paved for us. The struggles that they've endured to ensure that our path was a little easier to find and follow. It's the reason why I share the story of my mom with you. You know, President Hammond mentioned that I was at the Minnesota Department of Education, serving as a state Indian Education Director. And in that position, I worked hard and tirelessly to make sure that Native students were visible, that we did everything we could to advocate for more inclusive and more accurate curricula, that history, that language, and Native culture were to be celebrated, and that all students, Native and non-Native, learned about treaties and tribal nations and sovereignty. Now, here at the Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College, you're surrounded and you're immersed in Anishinaabe culture, in history, in Anishinaabe language. And while on campus, you've constantly walked by the symbols, those daily reminders and affirmations that you're right where you belong. While you're here, you can feel the presence of those leaders, those former leaders with us, those ancestors that helped pave your path. It's important to recognize people like Ruth Myers and people like Jack Briggs, former president of this great college, and President Emeritus Larry Anderson, and countless others from our communities, from this community, from all of your communities. This is a special place here. Trustee Soul said it. This is a special place here at Fond du Lac. If you haven't heard enough yet, I want you to know that you absolutely belong here. That your accomplishments tonight matter. They matter to your community. They matter to me. They matter to all of us. I certainly see you. Your community sees you tonight. We all see you tonight. We're so incredibly proud of you, all of you sitting in front of us tonight. What an honor to be here. Now, I mentioned at the Department of Education, you know, I advocated tirelessly for resources to make sure that we were not only having accurate curricula and accurate representations of Native people in history books and in curriculum, but that we were also working to increase the number of Native teachers that were in front of our youth. You know, we know that Native students have greater success when they have people in front of them that look like them, that have shared experiences, shared life experiences. But I quickly realized in advocacy for more Native teachers for our Native youth, it became clear that we need more Native everything. We need more Native law enforcement officers. We need more Native social workers, more Native nurses, doctors, businessmen and women, tribal leaders, natural resources professionals. I could go on and on. We need more Native people to be in leadership positions in our communities and in our governments at the local level, the state level, county level, federal level, you name it. But equally as important, we also need our non-Native brothers and sisters to continue to be allies to Native communities. Our communities have great needs that we all can fulfill by working together. In 2015, and I've been taking every opportunity I can to lift this up and to celebrate it, we got quite a gift from the Minnesota State Legislature. In 2015, the state legislature set a statewide attainment goal for Minnesota. The legislature said by the year 2025, so a 10-year window, we want 70% of Minnesota adults to have some sort of credential beyond high school, beyond a high school diploma. Now, we've been making incremental progress towards that goal of 70% of adults. We're currently at around 61.5%. And if you're doing the math in your head, we got about 6 more years to go. But we also have some glaring gaps in our overall statewide attainment. 22% of our Native adults statewide have a credential. There are some communities of color that are well below the minimum benchmarks that the legislature set. We know because of the changing demographics in our state, we need 120,000 more credentials awarded to adults in the state of Minnesota if we're to reach our goal. We also know that 70% of those credentials need to be awarded to adults from communities of color and from Native communities. Why I love to be in front of you tonight is that we're moving towards that goal, and we're changing that. We're changing those disparities tonight, right here, and so I can't wait to get back to work and to let folks know that I was here to celebrate graduates tonight that are moving us toward that statewide goal. I'm wrapping up, but I want to leave you with this. These statistics about attainment, they're important. The degrees and honors that you've earned tonight are incredibly important. But one thing I hope you've noticed tonight is that I've been talking about the power of people, about the power of relationships, and about the power of our communities. I'm confident that everyone here in this room tonight has been positively impacted and has been encouraged to persist by someone they trust, someone they love, someone that loves them, and someone that they rely on for guidance. I've been fortunate to have been mentored by numerous strong and courageous women. I've had the opportunity to work closely with Marge Anderson, the former chief executive of the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. Marge fought locally, statewide, and nationally to preserve and strengthen tribal sovereignty and affirm treaty rights at all costs. She's one of the main reasons our tribal nations here in Minnesota are so strong today. I also had the opportunity to work with Dr. Brenda Casilius, our former Commissioner of Education here in the state. Dr. Casilius taught me to dream big, to fight for what you believe in, even if it's messy, even if it's going to be hard, scary, or tough. If it's the right thing to do, then we got to do it. Now I get to work alongside the first American Indian Lieutenant Governor in the country. My intent in addressing you tonight is not to stand here and drop a bunch of names, but rather to honor those whose work we celebrate, their struggles we appreciate, and to constantly continue to acknowledge those that came before us. To those graduating, to our graduates tonight, again, I'm proud of you. I'm incredibly proud of you. Your community is proud of you. We are all proud of you. Whether you know it or not, you are a mentor to someone and an inspiration to many. Continue to be someone youth can look up to. Continue to build and foster relationships, strong relationships, and continue to lead the way for the next generation. be the ones that pave that path again. Congratulations, graduates. Miigwech.
Thanks so much for those beautiful words of encouragement for everybody. But the thing that stands out to me was in talking about those relationships, we're also talking about one person at a time. One person who stood out. One person who did something that maybe nobody thought they could do. Okay? One person that went beyond what was normal and what was expected. Okay? One person who perhaps just kept on going because he believed in somebody else. Okay? You are those one persons. But we also want to honor a very special one person who's been in this community for years, working tirelessly. And people have looked up to him, and we've chuckled with him, and we've had a lot of fun with him, hey? Because he was the president here following Jack Briggs, Larry Anderson. Now, he'll tell you that he's nobody, but we'll tell you that he's one person that has always put students first. In all his work, all the years as he worked throughout the various communities here in the area, it has always been about you. He has always worked for students. And so when we went to the World Indigenous Nations Higher Education Consortium, which also has a World Indigenous Nations University, we had put his name forward to acknowledge him and to recognize him for the educationalist that he is, for all that he has done for everybody else, in the way that he's lifted everyone else into a higher place, eh? He's lifted us all. He would give us a job and he would say, go do it. He never followed us around and expected anything of us. He just let us do our work. Okay? And all the while, he would chuckle at us and chuckle with us and make sure we had good food. And there's not a person here who probably can't tell a story about Larry, and if we got started, we'd be talking about him all night. And I'm sure we could even get some really good ones. Him in his cowboy boots racing across the roof, that was a good one. But there we were in Sami country, and we wanted to honor him. And so in acknowledgement, the Chancellor, with the consent of the Board of Governors of the World Indigenous Nations University, and acting on the recommendations of the Honors and Review Committee, decided that what they would do was they would confer upon Larry Anderson the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Education for his service to Indian education throughout his entire life. Liz and I were there, and we each took up responsibilities of making sure that we brought back for him. And so my responsibility was to carry back the plaque itself, and Liz brought back his shawl. And so Larry, if you would come up. Larry Anderson, the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Education.
I'm getting an award for what everybody else has done. If it wasn't for Roxanne, if it wasn't for Liz, If it wasn't for Sarah Montgomery, going back with Win Heck to Jack Briggs and Shirley Defoe and just a number of people who we became involved in this organization. And what it has done to make this place even more special and unique than it is, it's brought the Anishinaabe ways of learning into the curriculum for everyone. The values, the goodness, the relationship with Mother Earth, and has put it into the classroom. And we need to thank our faculty for doing that, because they spent hours and hours and time. And also there's just so many people who work so hard, and I end up with getting an award, and all I can say is McWitch, thank you, and congratulations to the graduates.
Bonjour, everyone. My name is Anita Hansen. I am the Dean of Student Services here at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College. And graduates, you guys have heard many people already say, congratulations, you're wonderful. I bring more congratulations from the student affairs area of the college. Many of you have worked with our advisors, our financial aid directors, our admissions people, our records people, and every one of them are so proud of you tonight. I just want to be here to say thank you for what you've done for the college, and we hope all the best for you guys in the future. It is my pleasure to introduce both student speakers this evening, and our first speaker is Sarah Rybeck. Yesterday in our annual graduate awards ceremony, Sarah earned a Service to the College and Community Service Award, and she was chosen Co-Student of the Year for her academic accomplishments, including her college and community work. Sarah graduates tonight with an Associate of Arts and an Associate of Science in Environmental Science, as well as a Certificate in Geographic Information Systems. Our program coordinator for GIS, Carl Sack, in his student nomination of Sarah, stated, "She has found her calling in environmental science, particularly doing work around ecology and invasive tree infestations. She has been an excellent student, a dedicated researcher, a student worker for Environmental Science Institute and the GIS program, and she's been active in numerous clubs and activities on campus. Evidence of her academic excellence was shown last October when Sarah won first place in the college student poster competition at the 28th Annual Minnesota Geographic Information Systems and Land Information System Conference. What's impressive about this effort is that Sarah beat upper-level undergraduate and graduate students to win this competition. And not only building a name for herself, but making Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College look pretty good in the process. Everyone, please help me welcome Sarah Rybeck to the stage.
Kind of short. Good evening, everyone. I would like to say thank you to all of the faculty for hosting this event and helping us to get where we are today. Thank you to all of our friends and family here supporting us at the end of one journey and the beginning of another. Congratulations to all you graduates on your success thus far. Only you truly know the struggles you overcame to get where you are today. There's one thing that is for certain. You've all had your battles during your academic career, but you made it. And every person in this room, including myself, is truly proud of you and acknowledges all of the hard work that you've done. Please give them a round of applause. My journey here at Fond du Lac has not exactly been a traditional one. I started here as a PSCO student back in 2010. It has taken me 9 years to get where I am today. I changed my degree twice and had to take multiple breaks from school due to life circumstances. In 2017, I finally figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up. I started my journey as an environmental science student. I had finally found my passion, which turned out to be a mixture of science and nature. In the spring of 2018, it was recommended to me by my GIS professor, Dr. Carl Sack, that I apply for an internship at NASA. I will never be able to fully express how thankful I am for his suggestion. I was accepted into the internship program. I completed a research project titled Evaluating the Environmental Impacts on the Eastern Larch Beetle in Minnesota. When I finished the internship, I was awarded grant money to continue on my research at Fond du Lac. The school's support for my work has been overwhelming. They have sent me all across the United States this last year to present my research, from Washington, D.C. to Alaska to California. It has been an amazing year, and I am so grateful for all of the opportunities that I have been offered. My purpose for sharing this is not to boast, but to hopefully help you understand the advice I would like to offer you today. My first piece of advice is this. If you are offered an opportunity and that voice inside of your head says there's no way you can possibly do it, you can. The louder the voice, the greater the opportunity you have in front of you. I was absolutely terrified for every opportunity that I was offered, but fighting that voice of fear inside my head was one of the best choices I have ever made. My second piece of advice comes from a research study based on the theory of grit. Dr. Angela Lee Duckworth, a psychology professor from the University of Pennsylvania, conducted a study in search for common factors of success. Some examples of her focus groups are military trainees, sales professionals, CEOs, students, teachers, and athletes. Her objective was to figure out who was successful within these groups and why. They came up with one common characteristic all the successors had in common. To their surprise, the characteristic was not social intelligence or good looks, nor was it IQ, physical health, or financial stability. The common characteristic was grit. The following is a quote from Dr. Angela Lee Duckworth in conclusion of her study. Grit is the passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in and day out, not just for a month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it is a marathon, not a sprint. Every single one of you graduating this evening has true grit. You've found it within you. It has gotten you here today. Don't ever let it go. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Once again, congratulations to every single one of you. It is such an honor to be walking with you all today. My hope for you is that you all find your personal success and follow through on your pursuit of happiness. You've all made it this far. Don't stop now. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Well done, Sarah. I am honored to introduce our last student speaker of the evening, October Allen. I heard that after yesterday's graduate awards ceremony, October's neck was a bit sore because she left the building with all of the medallions the college had to give. I'm quite certain she would have won more had we had any other categories. For her amazing accomplishments as a student at Fond du Lac, she was recognized with a Service to the College Award, a Community Service Award, an Academic Excellence Award, which she earned with her overall GPA of 3.8. And she was selected Co-Student of the Year. Human Services Program Coordinator Don Jarvinen gave October high praise in his Student of the Year nomination, stating, "When you read her very brief life history, take a moment to reflect on all that she has overcome just to be a student here, much less to accomplish all that she has in just 2 years." October is a Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe descendant who is very active in the community, focusing on women in recovery and homelessness. October has opened 1 homeless shelter for women and will be opening a second one this summer. October also participated in Fond du Lac Tribal Land Community College's Human Services Club. I could go on about all the truly life-changing work October is doing, but she'll share that in a minute. October graduates tonight with an Associate of Arts degree and an Associate of Applied Science degree in Human Services. Let's give a warm welcome to our final speaker, October Allen.
Hi guys. Is this cool or what? Wow! This is amazing to stand here and look at all of you. I thank you for coming and supporting us. So yesterday I attended the award ceremony. And initially I wasn't going to come, but I heard they had a barbecue. And I said, well, we can go and get a hot dog. And I brought my daughter with. She's also a student here. When I got here, I didn't know about all the awards I had won, and I especially didn't know about Student of the Year. But when I got here, the staff, they were especially nice. And when I went through the barbecue line, I was asked, October, do you want 2 hot dogs? I kind of knew something was up. It is an honor to be here because I am the first ever in the history of my family to graduate from college. I was born and raised on a small Indian reservation in Cass Lake, Minnesota, and I never imagined that going to college was even possible. Growing up, I saw poverty, addiction, I was in foster care, and I saw great hardship. One day, a teacher of mine gave me a dictionary as a gift. And on the inside of it, he wrote, October, you have great potential. And I said, what does the word potential mean? And he said, look it up, you have a dictionary. I realized then that I had to figure some things out on my own. Number 1, who am I? And number 2, what is my purpose in life? To the question of who am I, it took a while, but I started to believe that I was important to those around me and that I had gifts. I believed that there was a purpose for my life, and maybe, just maybe, I was created to do great things. I wanted to fulfill the highest calling that the Creator had for me. And one day I stumbled across this. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And to the question of what is my purpose is to make a difference, lead by example, and serve people. A few years ago, I was working in an optical shop with an eye doctor. I was content doing what I was doing. I was happy. I made a good living. And he said, "October, you have so much potential." He asked what I really wanted to do. I told him that I wanted to walk in my purpose and be powerful in changing the lives of others. I wanted to be more than just successful. I wanted to make a difference. He said, "Well, then you should go to college." I said, "Doctor, I'm too old for college. I've been there before. And it's been years since I've been there, and it would be really hard going back." He said, "Great. I have the perfect college for you. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College." He said, "They have this human services program that I think you would do great in." He said, "Call there right now and ask for Don Jarvin and make an appointment to register for classes." I said, "I can't do that right now. You have a patient waiting out in the lobby, and I don't want to take up any of their time." He said, "I want to make a difference too in your life right now. I want to see you walk in your purpose and fulfill the calling that you have in being great, because you are wasting your potential here. You need to go to college." So yesterday I attended the award ceremony, and I received more than I had anticipated. Because in my past, there are things, like I said, poverty, addiction, homelessness, jail, and even my own child protection cases. While recovering from a drug addiction, I worked very hard in getting my children back, and after a 2-year process, I earned them back. When the judge congratulated me, he said, "October, in 40 years I have never seen anyone do what you have just done. Would you help other parents?" So I was nominated to the state of Minnesota, and I now work as the ICWA Parent Mentor in St. Louis and Carleton counties. I work with parents who battle things like addiction, homelessness, discouragement. In the last 4 years, I've helped over 40 parents successfully reunify with their children and have assisted with over 100 kids going home and staying home. Two months ago, I was asked to speak at the state Senate for a parent support appropriation bill that was just passed. And I thought, what could I have to offer and speak in front of all of these people? They wanted to know what it was like growing up in foster care and then having my own children in foster care and knowing that my grandchildren would not be in foster care. As an adult, I reflected back on my time in foster care, and I never got to go home. And as an adult, I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, why didn't I ever go home?" And she said, "I didn't know that you could." Growing up on a reservation with not many supports in place or hope, I can see how she didn't understand that I could have went home. So now I am that person that goes into communities and walks along parents and tells them, your child can go home. Last year, I was blessed to become a homeless provider for St. Louis County, and I opened a home called Grace Place. Grace Place has been so successful in rebuilding women's lives that they have wanted to make it a model for other homes, and they've asked me to tell my testimony at the St. Louis County Public Health and Human Services Conference in October. Next month, another Grace Place opens. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I've been sober over 7 years. And I have found that what helps me is giving back to the community. So I'm a leader for Celebrate Recovery. I volunteer at the St. Louis County Jail, and I give back every single time I'm asked. So when Don Jarvinen asked me if I would be willing to coordinate a symposium for the Department of Human Services for the Kinship Navigator Awareness program, I said absolutely. I get to see the impact of what happens when lives change, and I can't quit talking about it. My encouragement to you is, regardless of where you come from or your past, you can do great and amazing things. If you believe that you are capable, you trust the process, you ask for help, you refuse to complain, you embrace hard work, you don't compare yourself to others, you realize you don't need to be perfect, you keep your head held high, and you do the next right thing every single time. My reflection of my experience here at Fond du Lac is that it changed my life. It was one of the greatest experiences of my lifetime. The teachers and the classmates helped me become who I was created to be. And they taught me what I needed to know to serve others and be successful while fulfilling the calling that the Creator had for me. So not just sometimes, but every time, we go through things so that we can better serve others later. And I am honored to graduate with a Human Services degree from Fond du Lac and be one of the Students of the Year.
Like a mighty stream. Would the class of 2019 please rise? President Hammett, on behalf of the faculty of Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College, it's my great pleasure to nominate the class of 2019 for graduation. Do you accept this nomination?
Yes, I do.
All right. The president having accepted this nomination, let us then begin to confer degrees.
Michael Darrell Badeau, Associate of Arts. Celia Ann Olesiak, Associate of Arts. Elias Kurt Tuminen, Associate of Arts. Lavelle Jackson, Associate of Arts. Armand Kiwan Keeley, Associate of Arts. Dondre Randall White, Associate of Arts. Dwayne Shaquem Hearns Townsend, Associate of Arts. Keandre Rashawn Smith, Associate of Arts. Taylor Jade Anderson, Associate of Arts. Morningstar Wabishke Bigwe, Good Sky. Jennifer Marie Kitts, Associate of Arts. Dylan Clark, Associate of Arts. Heath C. Eckstein, Associate of Arts. Charles B. Brayman, Associate of Arts. Jenny Helena Bryant, Associate of Arts. Charles Chester Neufeld, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Criminal Justice. Brooklyn Noel Freer, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Criminal Justice. Robin Conley, Associate of Arts. Shannon May Frickman, Associate of Arts. Sarah Ann Patrick Ladine, Associate of Arts. Carrie Michelle Larson, Associate of Arts. Amber Benjamin Dorr, Associate of Arts. Karina E. Lamoureux, Associate of Arts. William Joseph Lamoureux, Jr., Associate of Arts. Tyler M. Ojibwe, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Criminal Justice. Cody Allen Martin, Associate of Arts. Dakota Cade Millema, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Health Sciences, Broadfield. Peyton Koskala, Associate of Arts. Chloe Blue, Associate of Arts. Darcy Ann Martineau, Associate of Arts. Chandel Friedman, Associate of Arts. Jason Carrier, Associate of Arts, Certificate in Chemical Dependency. Nicole Marie Medcalf, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Sciences and Human Services, Certificate in Chemical Dependency. Xiaobing Thomas Degerstrom, Associate of Arts. Sly Dog, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science, Small Business Entrepreneurship, Certificate, Small Business Entrepreneurship. Shante Roberts, Associate of Arts, Nursing. Sherry Willette, Associate of Arts. Jessica Youngbird, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Elementary Education. Alexis Nordby, Associate of Arts. Isabel J. Carlson, Associate of Arts. Caitlin Ann Koyman, Associate of Arts. Naomi Camille Moe, Associate of Arts. Brianna Grace Kelly, Associate of Arts. Caitlin Danae Kelly, Associate of Arts. Mackenzie B. Kelly, Associate of Arts. Kaya Ellis, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services. Mackenzie Ray Engel, Associate of Arts. Emily Bevins, Associate of Arts. Morgan Denmar Murray, Associate of Arts. Caitlin Moe, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Environmental Science. Savannah Autumn Sears, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Health Sciences, Broadfield. Logan Gallup, Associate of Arts. James William Friedman, Associate of Arts. Mary Ann Amos Mackey, Associate of Arts. Jasmine
Ojini Wabigwanikwe.
Budrow, Associate of Arts. Tammy Boyd, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services, Certificate in Chemical Dependency. Crystal C. Garbers, Associate of Arts. Bailey Marie Klein, Associate of Arts. Mindy Kunschleben, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science and Corrections. Emily Two Stars, Associate of Arts. Kurt Anton Maas, Associate of Applied Science, Geographic Information Systems. Sarah Ryback, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Environmental Science, Certificate, Geographic Information Systems. Austin Denman, Associate of Science, Environmental Science. Cade Kowalczak, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Environmental Science, Certificate, Geographic Information Systems. Ashley Rose Kliniski, Associate of Science, Environmental Science. Philip Jansen, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Electric Utility Technology, Certificate, Clean Energy System Technician. Riley John Rowe, Associate of Applied Science, Electric Utility Technology. Angela Kathleen Martini, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Electric Utility Technology, Certificate in Clean Energy System Technician. Tina Marie Rispoli, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Business Finance Services, Associate of Applied Science, Small Business Entrepreneurship. Jacqueline Shafter, Associate of Science, Business Finance Services. Sharon Murray Anderson, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Business Finance Services. Matthew Richard Piotr Fulmer, Associate of Fine Arts. Juvie Connor, Diploma Nursing. Brighton David Nicholas Lutka, Associate of Science, Law Enforcement. Brandon Michael Solom, Associate of Science, Law Enforcement. Olivia Gottschall, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science and Law Enforcement, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Nicole K. Erickson, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Noah Mark DePuma, Associate of Science, Law Enforcement, Associate of Applied Science, Criminal Justice. Richard James Eggy III, Associate of Science in Law Enforcement, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Joshua Mark Bilecki, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science in Law Enforcement, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Cassandra Jean Keller, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services. Daryl Lee Shabayas, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services, Certificate in Chemical Dependency. October K. Allen, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services. Jenna Lee Gradine, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services, Certificate, Chemical Dependency. Jean-Ray Reeves, Associate of Arts, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services. Lindsay Musquadas Berg, Associate of Applied Science and Human Services, Certificate in Chemical Dependency. Clement Keegan, Associate of Science in Nursing. Thomas Snedker, Associate of Science, Nursing. Amanda Andrea, Associate of Science in Nursing. Chantal M. Woolwind, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Nursing. Yolanda Bishop, Associate of Science, Nursing. Bailey J. Pansar, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science in Nursing. Trista K. Bodiheimer, Associate of Science, Nursing. Mary Lynn Grover, Associate of Science, Nursing. Kello Brown, Associate of Science in Law Enforcement. Amelia Joan Thiel, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Alita J. Hogan, Associate of Science, Law Enforcement, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice. Nicholas Kenyon, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science in Law Enforcement. Sean Pierce, Associate of Science, Law Enforcement. Theodore Aaron Olson, Diploma, Law Enforcement, PPOE.
You can have a seat. Will the graduates please rise? By the virtue of the powers vested in me and this faculty by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you individually the degree for which you have been recommended with all the rights and privileges they hold. Please move your tassel from right to the left. We'd like to have everybody stand for an honor song by the drum, please. One last thing, thank you all for coming to celebrate tonight. Thank you to our speakers and to my helpers over here, to Leah and her committee for helping organize this entire evening. So please rise as the graduates exit, and there is coffee and cookies in the amphitheater. So have a good night, everyone. I did. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, wait, the graduates can't go yet. They can't go yet. Graduates, please come back. We have to have the flags lead us out. And the drum can start.